Welcome guys, it's Danny Glover from Fight Fan TV Live. Today we're joined by Paul Smith. We're in Wrocław, Poland. So how have you been and what do you think of the country so far?
I'm good, thanks mate. It's lovely, nice place, isn't it? And I know I sound a little bit surprised saying that, but I just wasn't sure what to expect. It's my first time in Poland and I've never heard of Wrocław. Obviously heard of the main cities here, but I just wasn't sure what to expect. And I got here, it's lovely, it's been nothing but nice, people are great, city's really clean and nice and lovely old buildings. I had a little walk last night, there's a couple of walks today, and I'm enjoying being here, I'm happy I'm here.
Yeah, because likewise I came in a hoodie and a Gillette because I was told that Poland, very cold and snowy, and I came in it's boiling hot, hotter than England. And I only know mainly Krakow and Warsaw, which most people do. So yeah, it's been very nice. So we're here for Usyk Dubois press conference. Was you at the public workout yesterday?
No, I didn't get in till last night. I landed about 9 o'clock last night, flew from London, and had a little walk around with Sia, the fighter I manage, and got my head down, got up early this morning, and then come down here for the press conference today.
So what did you think of the press conference between Usyk and Dubois? Did you see anything, any telltale signs between either of the pair?
I've seen them from the very first head-to-head with Dubois, and I pointed it out, and people think I've got like a bit of an agenda with him. There's no agenda, I've got nothing against him, and I certainly don't dislike the lad or anything like that. He's 6'7" heavyweight monster, he's absolutely flattened me if he caught me, you know what I mean? So it's not like I'm trying to be funny or anything like that. I'm just saying what I'm seeing. On the first head-to-head, I saw someone who looked beaten already and was very, very awkward, and I keep getting told, oh, he's socially awkward, and I've got a brother who's socially awkward, but he's never backed down in the head-to-head or turned away in the head-to-head or looked like he doesn't want to be there, and that's the impression I was getting with Dubois. I literally watched very close on the head-to-head today to see that, and you can see it again, Dubois like first to turn away, and I know it's not his cup of tea, and that it has no bearing as such on the fight, but mentally, that's what this fight could come down to, and there's no one probably in the division stronger mentally than Usyk. Even down to like the training methods he does, where he's holding his breath underwater for like 3 or 4 minutes at a time, and he's genuinely doing that. And things that's going on in his home country, his personal life, and you can see it all the time. After the fights, mostly, that he's a very emotional fella anyway. He lets things like that affect him, so he must be blocking all that out every day in camp just to concentrate on the fight, and then as soon as the fight's done, the emotion comes out, he's back home to his fans, his friends, his family, and the troops. To beat someone like that, who has the ability that he has also, is a massive ask, and what I've seen this week, there's nothing really telling me that Dubois is here to actually win. I thought he looked okay, and he looked good in the public workout yesterday.
Yeah, he looked very good, very sharp and fast. What he was working out with Don Charles. There was one I saw on YouTube last week as well. They was in a gym over in the UK, and he looked quite explosive and energized as well. So that was positive. And also, he's got one of Usyk's old trainers, Ali Bashir, in his corner. So do you think that's also a mental tactic to help?
It could be, and he could be telling them stuff that he does or stuff that he does well, and if you know that, then that will only obviously help. But it's I always see people, oh, he's got no chance. Everyone's got a chance in a fight. You've got 2 arms. If you land, you're winning. If Dubois catches us clean and nails him, Dubois winning. But it's a big ask, and unfortunately for Daniel Dubois, Usyk's also very tough. The size isn't that much difference on the head-to-heads now. That's what I'm noticing the most about the head-to-head in person. And to beat Usyk, you're gonna have to be something special. And Dubois is a very good fighter.
Yeah.
Is he on that elite level like Fury, like Usyk? I'm not sure. And in the heavyweight division, I mean, I'm not sure. This win will catapult him into that, obviously, if he does win. But it's a big if. And unfortunately for Dubois and Dubois fans, I think Usyk is going to look really good on Saturday. He's an ideal opponent to look good against for someone like Usyk, who has the style of Usyk. And I think by the time Dubois gets to grips with what's going on, he'll have probably took a few too many, and I think Usyk will inevitably get the stoppage.
So it's Ukraine's Independence Day today. Also, it's like a homecoming fight, whereas Usyk's always been on the road. As we've seen in quite recently, quite a lot of fighters who have had their homecomings, who are normally road warriors, have ended up having bad performances and come proppers. Do you think that this is a potential omen for Usyk?
Because of what I was just talking about, then the mental strength, probably not. I don't think he'll let himself to have an off night as such. we know Rosambe, who's in our corner with Callum and Liam. He's in Usyk's camp. You know, he's sort of, he doesn't tell us anything what goes on in there, but he tries to explain to us, look, he loves the word bro. He's like, bro, you don't understand this, Usyk. He's a different animal. He's a different kettle of fish, you know. And mentally, I don't think he'll allow it to be a bad performance or allow himself to look bad. He's certainly professional enough to stay switched on and to not let his emotions get the better of him. As I said before, he's very good at controlling them. So yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I don't see that happening on Saturday. We are in Poland, which is the closest possible place he could have got to fight, nearest to the Ukrainian fans and Ukrainian people. There's a lot here, and there'll probably be a lot more on fight night. And we saw today like the gift he's getting on Independence Day for those. It's a big deal for them, this fight, and it's a morale booster for the troops.
So also, as you mentioned, your brother Callum Smith, the fight has been postponed with Beterbiev. Has that affected him? Is he looking to get a fight in between now, because it's been quite a while since his last fight against Matthew Bauderleek?
Yeah, he's trying. Whether he gets it or not is a different thing. I'm not sure whether he'll have time to do it now. January, as mad as it seems, January isn't that long off. If you were to fight now and have a little bit of a rest after the fight, you'll get right back in. So I don't know what's going to happen with that, but I think in an ideal world he probably could have fought and should have fought, but he'll be more than ready on January 13th.
Do you think there's a bit of politics against Callum Smith? Because I noticed that whenever everyone talks about the light heavyweight division, they mention the likes of Craig Richards, Anthony Yard, Dan Aziz, Joshua Buatsi, but they tend to leave your brother out. Why is that, when he's got so many accolades at the super middleweight and had highlight reel knockouts as a light heavyweight so far?
They probably leave him out because he's ahead of them. That's how I look at it. You know, he's number one in Britain in the light heavyweight division. In my opinion, he beats all of those fighters, and I like those fighters. There's not one of them that I don't rate or don't like as such. You know, I think Buatsi's a lovely lad. I commentated on him in the ABA final when he won his ABAs, and before he went to the Olympics, he was the one who picked out to medal. He wasn't probably really favoured to medal. Everyone was going about a couple of the other fighters, but for me, he's a very, very good fighter. I think Dan Aziz is improving really well under the work Buddy's been doing with him and everyone else. He's an throwback fighter. I've gave my opinion many times on Anthony Yard. You know, as a lad, I think he's a decent lad. As a fighter, I think he's not as good as everyone makes out he is as such, but he's got a lot of ability and a lot of potential. I've always said for years he needs to change the team, set up behind him, and he'll probably get more out of his potential, but that's probably never going to happen. But Callum's ahead of all of them, and his pedigree speaks for himself. Callum's been the number one at Super Middleweight, Ring Magazine champion, WBA title, WBC silver, and is now in line to win the other 3 belts that he's never had. And for me, I think he's going to do it in January. Callum's quiet. Callum's a nice, quiet, respectful lad. Doesn't really speak much. Doesn't really shout his mouth off too much. He never has. He's quiet with his brothers. He's quiet with his mother, his wife, his fiance, everyone else. He's not a loud person as such. So, you know, he's not going to really use that and create something that he's not just to get a bit of publicity. He doesn't need the public. He doesn't want the publicity. He just wants to make as much money as he can, win as many titles as he can, and then retire and play golf for the rest of his life. That's Callum. Doesn't want to be on telly, doesn't want to be famous, doesn't want to be known. He's not bothered about any of that. None of it bothers him. Yeah. It's probably adding to the fact why many people don't mention him.
That was gonna be, you would basically just answer my next question. I was gonna say, why do you think it is that his profile isn't as big as it should be for someone who's won also the Super Series boxing, unified champion, Ring Magazine champion, highlight reel knockouts all over the place, big, tall, strong, light heavyweight and former super middleweight, and yeah, you basically just answered that. So I'll move on to you.
He's just a naturally quiet kid. Like, you know, if he's coming into a place or a party or something, he'll phone one of us, and if we're there to go stay on the phone, it's not because he doesn't want to speak to people because of boxing or because he's a bit famous or something like that. He just doesn't like really conversation with people. He's really quiet and an introvert and a bit socially awkward and always has been. So he's not going to be one like shouting his mouth off. he's a really good speaker and a good talker if you get him talking,
No.
especially about boxing. He's done a few little stints on Sky for punditry, and he come across really well. He speaks well. He's very intelligent. He knows what he's talking about. He just doesn't speak much. He doesn't like it. I think if he could go a day without speaking to anyone at all, it'd be probably considered a good day to him.
Yeah.
Because he's just that little bit of antisocial in him. He's just a quiet lad.
Well, I can imagine all four of you in the household talking about boxing must be good because
he's the youngest out of the four as well, so he's had the other three doing all the talking for him. And as you can tell by the amount I'm speaking, we all speak a lot.
Yeah, well, you do well on commentary yourself.
Now I do an interview.
So also moving on, lastly to your other brother, Liam Smith. Because the reason why, do you know why? Because I know Stephen Smith from the amateurs, where we used to do like up Crystal Palace and that. So he's the fun I know the most out of all these. Yeah, you're 69 kilos back in the day. I know. Don't ask. So moving on to Liam Smith. So he's got his fight next week. Do you see it as the same repeat, or do you think that maybe it will probably go to points, or what do you expect different from Eubank?
Last time I was expecting points or stoppage late. I thought Liam would hurt him to the body because he has done in sparring. That was the thing we were all speaking about or alluding to. Now I know that he can hurt him to the head. You know boxing yourself, well, if you've been stopped by someone or your chin's finally gone, the only thing that's on your mind when you get it next. When I get tagged, how's my chin going to be? It could be early that it happens. It could be the first big shot that lands that he's thinking about it that much and he's getting ready for it that much that all of a sudden, bang, it's gone again. I think if Eubank comes out to fight with him and stands with him, I think it's over pretty fast. I think if he tries to box and move, Liam will chip away at him and get to him in the middle to late rounds. But to beat Liam, Eubank's going to have to do something very, very different, and I don't think he can. I don't think he's... I've always said about Eubank, he's a very good fighter, but he's not a good boxer. And if he stands off someone, he's not that good. If he puts the head on the chest, he's very good. He's good at what he does. But to put your head on someone's chest and do that for belt to belt for 12 rounds, you've got to be fit enough to do it. And I don't think he's done it in the gym to do that on fight night. I don't think he takes it seriously enough. I don't think he's putting the work in. I don't think he's listening to whatever trainer it is, whether it's Ballmark, anyone that's working with him, Roy Jones, Ronnie. I don't know whether he's going to listen to them or have enough respect for them to actually implement what they're asking or telling them to do. And that's, if you're not listening to your trainer, then you're not going to go there, right? Yeah,
well, you kind of alluded to my next question, because I was going to say, do you think that Chris is... Yeah, you are. You're good at anticipating. I was going to say, do you think that Eubank's been putting in the work? Because me and a few people on social media have seen that Chris Eubank has been at the pool parties in Las Vegas quite a bit, especially during the fight week of Spence and Crawford. So, have you taken notice of that or seen anything like that?
I don't look, and I'm sure Liam doesn't look. No, Liam's not asked. I'm certainly not asked. I'm watching Liam in the gym and seeing what he's doing. And we said this time and again, as long as Liam turns up 100%, he wins, no matter what Eubank does. If Eubank's 100%, 55% or whatever he was saying, if Liam's on the ball and Liam's fit and Liam's 100%, he wins. And that's definitely the case this time. But I said that last time and no one really believed us, but now that's happened, they're listening now when we're saying, as long as Liam turns up and Liam's 100%, he wins the fight.
So, with the four of you brothers being British champions, first in history, have any of you got kids coming up who have started boxing to add on to the second gen?
Yeah, my lad's 16 now. He's had 20 odd, 22, 23 amateur bouts, and he's obsessed with it, and he wants to turn pro, and he knows everything about it. He's watching boxing till 2, 3, 4 in the morning. He's in the gym every day. He's training really well. He looks a little bit like Callum. He's got a bit of a style like Callum and myself, and a bit of Liam, a bit of Stephen. Stephen helps him out. There's a little bit of tech sparring with him just to teach him a few things, which is brilliant because the brain on Stephen's phenomenal. He knows a hell of a lot about boxing. Really, really good fighter. I keep having to say to him, look, you know how lucky you are, don't you? You've got your uncles and your dad who have all been professional boxers. Doesn't matter what we did, we've been professional boxers, so we've got all our advice to pass on. It just so happens that you've got uncles who've been world champions as well, or who are world champions, and they can pass all the knowledge on. So you've got to remember all the time how lucky you are and use that, don't waste that. And any advice you need, ask. Any help you need, ask. But we're never going to push it or force you to do things or tell you to do things. If you're not willing to do it yourself, we're not going to get involved. You've got to be wanting to do it yourself, and he's obsessed. and I think we're creating a bit of a monster because we're not going to get to stop him from fighting now, and he wants to turn pro, and that's it.
What's his name, by the way, so we could... Paul.
His name's Paul, yeah.
Also,
He's Paul
Junior.
Blame my wife. I wanted to call him Callum, and when he was born, she said, no, he's Paul, and that's it. So he's not the Paul.
Okay, that's great. So, finally, is there anything that the fans and supporters can look out for you, from yourself and Stephen, even though you're both retired, but anything that got coming up?
Stephen is running our academy, the Smith Brothers Academy, and we look after kids. He looks after the kids when they leave school and in between the ages of 15 to 19, full-time education. So we have tutors, and we have the academy. We train boxing with Stephen and other pros or top amateur coaches, and they can get the qualifications, either the A-levels, the MVQs, the BTECs, whatever they're called nowadays. I'm not too clued up on it. And he's doing well with that. He likes that. He's busy with his own kids. His son Frank, he's his son football player. He's a really good player. He's on a few different teams' books, so he's dad's taxi, but like me with Paul with the gym.
Liverpool or Everton?
Liverpool.
Okay.
Yeah, Liverpool, we're all Liverpool. And he's enjoying that. And myself, I'm managing fighters. I manage his own on Saturday night, and a couple of others. And I'm still involved in the commentary and things like that. So I think you give your life to boxing, and you put 20 years in, it's all you know, and you learn it, and you a bit like yourself standing here, you know it well, and why should you not be able to make a living out of it, or contribute back to the sport when you're too old to do it?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's important, that people who are in boxing stay in boxing.
Thank you very much for your time, Paul, and that's it. So it's Danny Glover from Fight Fan TV Live, and today we're joined by the one, the only, Paul Smith. You know what it is.